how do I get over my anxiety to interact with people socially?
Just be a crazy person just for one day. Act like you are nuts. You'll overcome all those fears. You cannot smell things from your ear. You have to place it in your nose to smell it. Similarly, when you want to choose your life partner, you cannot do it only through the head. You have to go from the gut feeling.
A person wants health, wealth, and relationships to live a happy and successful life. I want to ask, when it comes to prioritizing, which one should I choose first?
Oh, it's very simple. Look for a rich, healthy person. You got all the three. But mind you, what type of wealth? That you have to be specific. Some may be very wealthy with the bank account. Some are very wealthy in their characters, in their qualities of life. Some may be very wealthy in their intellect. Some may be very wealthy in their heart. So, that you have to choose, okay?
How to be yourself and calm when another person triggers you?
Invoke the valor in you. Other person is triggering so that you can show your valor. Be strong, It is difficult, I know. People can trigger in you, bring out the worst in you. Here again, meditation, regular meditation can help you not be such a reactive bomb. You just get triggered off by somebody and you start bursting. So meditation will give you that strength, and it takes you away from being a bomb that gets triggered to someone who is very stable.
Parul from University of Delhi and 137 other students are asking, how do I get over my anxiety to interact with people socially?
Will you do something if I suggest you? Sure. Just act like a buffoon one day. Just be a crazy person just for one day. Act like you are nuts. You'll overcome all those fears. Not even one day, half a day good enough. In the carnival and in all these festivals, people dress in all sorts of crazy ways. There is a scientific idea behind that. To break this monotonous idea about oneself and about respect and the fear of rejection, fear of being laughed about, to get over all this. But since on a carnival day everybody does that, you feel comfortable. Do it one day when nobody does it. Then you will be point of attention, and everybody's attention is on you. Then you will see, you'll snap out of that. I was also very shy, I tell you. In my teenage, I was very shy. I would not sit in big crowds, I would run away. But one day in Switzerland, I decided I'm going to wear dhoti and walk there. In the cold, in the snow, when I was walking with dhoti, everyone was looking at me. Who is this creature who has come? Everybody is wearing thick coats and everything. It was in my teenage. Like that, and nothing mattered to me afterwards. Otherwise, my dad would have many parties, many people come home and all that. He was a very big socialite. So he would want to introduce me. I will say hi, hello, and I will run away. The generation gap with the children are very much there. In those days, it was even more. In the 60s, you just do it. You have to take a step to break your monotony. And you are worried about what others will think about you. You'll snap out of it.
Senna from George Washington University is asking, I am having trouble finding a job in my field. I have the education for sure, but I don't have the experience yet. How can I make up for my lack of professional experience in finding my first job out of college?
See life in a bigger context, my dear. Every failure is a step towards success. And these failures are too small for you. They cannot engulf your whole spirit. Those success you aim at are, again, is nothing too big for you to have. See life from a bigger context. You are much bigger than these things. And there are ample examples. You look around. So-called successful people, they all had failures in their lives. Many high school dropouts, college dropouts have become big industrialists, have become entrepreneurs, have started many industries, and they have been source of livelihood for millions of people. So something big must be there for you, don't worry.
How do I date or move forward in finding a relationship with someone who shares similar spiritual values?
Well, there are 107 universities and more than 200,000 students, and half of them are from the other sex. So you have choices. Every human being is spiritual. You shouldn't be too choosy. Someone you think were very spiritual, there is no guarantee they'll stay like that for their whole lifetime. What if they turn around and become too materialistic, too egotistic, too greedy? I mean, human mind is such. It can go this way, that way. You can't expect a saint from everybody. So, number one, don't be too choosy. Second, anyone can be spiritual at any time, any point of time. And it is nothing much for someone to gain a sense of knowledge. Just a week's time, that's all. Follow your gut feeling. Don't think too much from your head, okay? You cannot smell things from your ear. You have to place it in your nose to smell. Similarly, when you want to choose your life partner, you cannot do it only through the head. You have to go from the gut feeling. Otherwise, you think and think and think, and then if you think too much, it will show on your face, and finally you select someone, they will reject you. You just imagine someone whom you're falling in love with. Just an imagination. And they are judging you all the time. They're thinking whether you are this way, that way. Every little thing you say, they turn it around, twist it, and they keep thinking on it too much. How do you feel? Oh my God, this person is somewhere lost. Too much explanation, too much of judging, all leaves you. Just be natural and go with an understanding that mind is mind, and people have all sorts of judgments, opinions. Have you heard about this? That 85% of the worries you have never happens. This is the latest research from one of your university, that 15%, what is left, they can easily manage. And what you are left with is only 3%. Really 3% that you have to be concerned. The same with the judgments too. Look back and see how many of your judgments have stood up correct. Over a period of time, you feel like laughing at yourself. Oh my God, I was judging like that on this person, on that person. Whether good or bad, either way, it can go either way.
An anonymous student who feels that they represent many students out there is asking, I feel really hopeless to the point that I have given up looking for someone for a romantic relationship. I don't really want to get back out there. I just kind of want it to happen. I feel like it's not going to happen unless I make it happen, but I don't want to come off as desperate to the universe. What do I do?
You already got half the code. Not show your desperation. The next half of the code, you have forgotten. Keep your spirit high. Be cheerful. Be exuberant. Then why would not anybody come and be with you? People will love your company when they see you are here full of joy and enthusiasm, and you are there only to give. Then you have choices, you can choose.
Another student would like to know, what is the best way to keep being motivated and energized while studying, especially when there's a lot to study and there never seems to be enough time?
Meditation. Meditation can improve your memory. It can give you photographic memory. And in between studies, you must also listen to some music. If you are just taxing only your left brain, study too much, then you get tired and you can't retain whatever you study. You have to alternate that with your right brain activity. That is, listen to music, flute music, string music, even for 5-10 minutes. Stand up and do some dance. Better music without any words in it. This is more impactful, more powerful. Because you cannot remember them. You cannot catch it. Words, you will start repeating it in your mind. Words make an impression in your memory. But just pure sound without words has a different type of impact on the brain without having to tap into that area of memory.
Dear Guruji, there seems to be an increase in gender fluidity in the past decade. Why is this, and how can we support people who are experiencing this?
Education. All sorts of prejudice, whether against gender or race or religion or nationality, is part of lack of proper education. We need to educate people, educate in higher values concerning life.
How do we deal with global warming? We are facing a big crisis. We have to change our ways of life. But is it too late? And will it be enough to just change our ways of life?
I'm glad that young people today all over the world are concerned about this and are taking action. The younger generation is not as consumeristic as the people of the past generation, isn't it? They are not worried about showing off with their Cadillac or with their Rolls Royce and things like that. Younger generation is more concerned about the planet Earth and what big they can do. That's a welcome change. My dear, 42 years ago when I would talk about environment, people would raise the eyebrows. Which planet he has come from? What is he talking? Development cannot go along with this sort of saving tree and saving river and all. Who cares? Trees are plenty in abundance in the planet. This was the mindset. But fortunately today, every country on this planet, almost every country has a Ministry of Environment. And a lot more awareness about saving our planet, saving environment, green energy, moving away from fossil energy, all this. I think we are moving in the right direction. Promote more vegetarianism and less use of plastics. Pay more attention to saving fuel and electricity. You know how much food we waste in this country, in America? My goodness. Billions of dollars. Every day, several $1 billion worth of food is being thrown. And we put all this food in the fridge. This shows how insecure we are about food. And after a few days, it's not worth eating, we throw it. We can create this sort of awareness in people. Contribute to global food security. There are places in the world today, in Eastern Europe, in Africa, it is starving. In UK, many people, millions, have had only one meal a day. Did you hear about that article? That is surprising. One was somewhere in Europe, nothing to do with America, could shoot up the food prices here so much, isn't it? So we are all connected in the globe. We must think beyond our borders, beyond our affiliations and our limited mindset. Be human and think global. That should be our motto, Sadh.
I wish I could be more independent and have my own space. It's been a struggle living with my parents over the last few years. How can I find my own path or my own ways of living while still living with them?
The generation gaps is the cause for this. But you know something? Your parents love you a lot, and anything they say to you or do to you is not for themselves, but because they are so concerned, they are so caring, so loving. Sometimes it could be so stifling for you. But you should walk the middle path. You follow your passion and listen to them too. It cannot be one way. If you say only, okay, you always toe that line of your parents, it will be too stifling and frustrating. At some time, you will feel not good about yourself. On the other side, if you become a rebel and don't listen to them at all, not good either. So you need to choose that middle path. Sometimes you go with their wishes, sometimes you insist on your wishes. Find that balance, okay?